Howdy, partners, and welcome to Wasted Wagons. This is the rootinest, tootinest show this side of the Mississippi. This podcast is 10 pounds of crazy in a 5-pound sack. So butter me up and call me a biscuit, because you'll be as surprised as me to see what this posse of banditos has in store for you tonight.
Welcome back, banditos, to another exciting episode of Wasted Wagons. We have the Biffski filling in for Mike. Again, this will be Biff's second episode filling in for Mike.
Excited to be here.
Woo! Woo! And across the table, we have a very special guest, and Mr. Joshua.
Greetings.
Greetings, Earthlings.
Greetings. Yeah.
Say it on my face.
Josh here, and this video game musician, friend of everybody at the table.
Video game musician.
Yeah, I'm only a musician in video games. Rock band.
His Sims character. They have that Power Glove band that only plays, metal versions of video game music.
So we're glad to have both Biff and Josh here with us tonight. Travis, didn't you say you wanted to kind of pick up where we left off last week?
Yeah. So we if y'all listened to our last podcast, we had a y'all probably didn't, but we did our Christmas.
Who's y'all, by the way? All those listeners.
All of our listeners.
All listeners.
All listeners.
All listeners.
We had a Christmas special. We talked about Thanksgiving meals. We talked about our favorite Christmas movies, and one of the things we kind of hinted on that we were going to get back to was our favorite and least favorite Christmas gifts of all time. We still haven't quite reached Christmas Day, so we're still in that Christmas season. So I think it's only fitting that we pick up and say, what is your least favorite and favorite gift of all time? Does anybody want to get us started?
I'll get it started. It's easy for me. Because, what?
I can't think of a least favorite at all.
I can't think of a least favorite either, but I know
the easy favorite gift was when my parents, family, whatever, surprised me on Christmas Eve at my grandma's house with the Nintendo 64. As I knew I was pretty much getting it for Christmas, but it was like my mom had it in a black garbage bag at my grandma's house, and I was like, I lost my mind because I went upstairs and hooked it up and played it for like 6 hours straight. Oh, yeah. Mortal Kombat Trilogy came with it. I forget what else they bought.
Mario 64.
Well, yeah, that came with the system, but yeah, she also bought Mortal Kombat Trilogy, and I forget what other game.
I just remember us playing the show. I remember that 64.
But that was like the kid,
like, this is the height.
I didn't, before the days of YouTube, I didn't go viral like that kid. Nintendo 64. He's celebrating with his sister. But that was literally me when I got that in Old Metairie at my grandma's house.
Yeah.
But worst is I'll have to find the picture because my mom was like trying so hard not to laugh her ass off when my grandpa, her dad, got me, I think I was in like second grade, third grade maybe, go over to his house thinking, oh, I'm second grader or something, I'm going to get a toy, something like that. And he got me a trench coat and like a matching hat, and I looked like Dick Tracy with this thing on. It wasn't yellow, but yeah, it had like the belt like straps and everything, and it went down to my knees. And yeah, my parents have a picture of me in this, and my look on my face just looks like I just saw a dog get shot.
I remember that photo. Was it what color? It was black?
No, it was like a tan beige color. It was a tan color.
I wanted you to look like Frank Sinatra.
And it was like, I looked like some gangster.
Frank Sinatra's rendition of Jingle Bells.
And my mom was just like, my mom was so embarrassed. She was just like, Dad, why would you get him that? Oh my God. And, it was always, interesting gifts. Like one time he got me a train set and I had no interest in trains at all. He tried, but he was definitely, his gifts were definitely eccentric. Let's put it that way.
Yep. All right.
Look, I'll go next. I mean, I've gotten some bad gifts for Christmas, but none of them really stand out. But we had, Travis can kind of attest to this, is we had my great Uncle Stino, who used to come to our house every year for Christmas. towards the end, he was kind of senile. I remember one time he ran into our sliding glass door.
Yep.
Another time he tripped by the dining room
Yep.
table and pulled down all of our stockings by the fireplace.
That's just funny right there.
His Christmas gifts, though, were really, really bizarre. I mean, I guess he kind of scraped up what he could.
I think he had a gambling problem and lost a lot of his money gambling, so he would just kind of come over with random gifts.
I mean, I remember one thing specifically they gave, Travis actually kept, was like a stuffed camel that was like really like a dark brown. It was like a chocolate brown camel that he got out of a claw machine. He gave that as a Christmas gift. He would always give 50-cent pieces. But
Nice.
I think the one that really stands out the most, which I would say was probably the worst Christmas gift ever, he would give those dry sponges that expanded when you put them in water. It kind of looked like that pumpkin biscotti that.
Yeah, it probably tasted like it too.
But when you put it in the water, it expanded to like an oval.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give that as my worst Christmas gift because I legit got that as a Christmas gift one year. My best one, I don't know if this is the same one as Travis, but I mean, in 5th grade, everybody was super excited about getting a bike. And if you remember, you were only cool if you had a Mongoose, a Dino,
GT,
a GT,
a
a
Schwinn,
Robinson, a Schwinn. Those were all the cool bikes. So my favorite one, Diamondback too, I left that out. So I guess my favorite Christmas gift ever was back in 5th grade. And I still have this bike in my shed, and I really plan on kind of hoping that I need to kind of soup it up a little bit and give it to Camden. But it's a green and maroon and Mongoose villain, and it is so tight.
Still cool.
It's still cool.
like
The
that.
tires are flat. It's got a little bit of rust on it. But
Let's trick that thing out, dude.
I have to throw in my grandpa that I just mentioned. Yeah, he got me a bike one year. It was like one of these like 10, 15 speed things, and it was purple. It was some like adultish bike
got this
that
stuff on
some
clearance,
kid was like, why would I want a purple bike? I'm a boy. but yeah,
No, that's a very good answer by Todd, because that is not what I was going to say, but that is a very good one. And actually, much like Todd, I actually had my Dyno VFR still in my shed, and then when our house burned down a couple of years ago, we had nothing in front of the shed, so it was a vacant lot with a chain link fence in front of the shed, and somebody actually went into my shed and stole my Dyno out of it, so I don't have it anymore. But that was a very good Christmas gift, so good choice. Anybody want to go next?
I'll take it. So kind of talking like grandpas. So my grandfather was a clothier for like a long, long time. So it wasn't a bad gift, but like when you were a kid, like he would give all of the guys or the boys in the family like dress socks. As a kid, nobody wanted that. It was like,
But now socks is
but
shit.
now it's like sure, I'll take those. I don't want to go buy socks, but if I get it as a gift, cool. If you're listening, please don't buy me socks. But like nice, cool, nice dress socks now, or
John Cena.
But I'd say the worst Christmas gift I got.
I got
What you got on?
I got Diet Coke socks.
Nice.
You got Diet Coke and Jerome McGinley socks.
I got some hot dogs and hamburgers there, baby. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
We having a sock off?
I don't have any socks.
Nice.
I got
We having a sock
I got
off.
slippers on.
Is that going to be the new? What are we drinking today? Or, hey, what's your sock game is like today?
top 5 favorite pairs of socks.
Shh, or not?
Hey, I can do that.
I like a good Argyle.
But,
I got a bunch of I've got a bunch of cool socks, man.
Top 5 socks,
and that's when we're done.
and that's when the listener stops listening.
Y'all must not have very cool socks then.
It's a thing. But I'd say the worst Christmas gift I got, an ex from like 2014, 15. She was big into like crochet and knitting, so she knitted us a
Joy.
So matching.
no, not matching. It was designed for one person's left hand, the other person's right hand, and you put your hand in the the glove. I call it like a glove, right? So you could hold hands and keep
That's
your
so
hands
cute.
warm
Like a
while
glove.
you're walking somewhere or doing whatever.
Could you get a handy in it at the same time?
I probably not. Probably not.
Chinese.
But yeah, it had like a heart kind of shape to it with two open holes that you would slide your hands in. It was designed for you to walk and hold hands
Nice.
and keep your hands warm. I'm like,
Patrick, please tell us you still have this thing.
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So y'all would walk down the street like and look like y'all have this giant tube arm.
I never wore
between
it.
the two of
Never wore it.
I was just picturing like y'all's arm looking like one giant.
That's exactly what it would look like in theory. I'll find a picture of what these things look like, but yeah,
Please find the picture.
I'll do that. And I'll post that. Yeah. So that was by far the worst gift I got. Not because
If you're listening, Patrick's ex, your gift sucks.
you hear that. You hear that, Susan? The gift was
Hey,
terrible.
wait, is that an alias?
No, that's how I was.
Yeah, I remember Susan.
Yeah, you do. So on the flip side, I think the
She was a nice
best.
gal.
She was. It's just I wasn't into like getting knitted gifts. I think she did me a pair. She did me a pair of socks once, and that was cool.
The socks are cool.
Yeah, but I just didn't want to put my hand in a
Stupid oven mitt.
yeah, basically in a two-person oven, two-person heart oven
In a
mitt.
hand tube.
It's like
So it's a
now,
hand warmer,
if it came with a free handy every time I wore it, I probably would have wore it. But it didn't come with that promise, so no, that got shot down. I'd say probably the
vintage warm.
The best gift I got for Christmas, it probably like my first PlayStation, because I think I was the first kid in my little neighborhood to have a PlayStation, or a Super Nintendo, one of the two. That, or I got like car parts, probably from my dad when I was big, like I was a 18, 20-year-old. I snuck and bought my first like Mustang behind my mom's back against her will. And my dad's like, "Hey, I'll buy you some parts for it." I was like, "Yeah, Dad, appreciate that." So, yeah, that's my best gift was just car parts, or my Nintendo /PlayStation.
All right.
Next,
You ready? I guess I'll go. I still can't think of my best gift.
I'm right if you need to think about it.
But I can definitely say my worst. It's similar to Patrick's. It was just like the thoughtlessness of it. Like hers was, it was a girl I was dating, and like
If it's a severed head, I'm going to be very disappointed.
no, but it's like it was like I got her this romantic like Christmas gift. We hadn't been dating that long, but it was like we started dating and it was like a nice rose and all this like this like light up Beauty and the Beast rose. She loved it, whatever. And then like I got like a freaking Saints coffee mug, and I'm like, who told you this would be a good gift to me? It's like, your brother said you were a Saints fan. I'm like, no shit, I live in New Orleans. Like, it's like, this is really what you want to say? Well, I got a lanyard too. There's a lanyard in there. And I was like, this is like so shitty. It's like, and she, I don't know. So like, to me, like that was the worst Christmas gift. It was a Christmas, but I guess the best gift, I don't know, was like, I'll say this. It was when my parents bought me this slew of those wrestlers.
Yeah.
And like I was like 5 or 6. It was like, and it was like I didn't realize they were only like $3.99 or something. So like to me, like as a kid, you're like, oh, I like 8 of them.
Yeah.
And it only cost them like
Right.
$60.
Was it like the old?
But yes, the
ones,
old
like
plastic ones with the hands. Yeah. And so like, and
Not
like
the
between,
like the gooey ones, huh?
not the gooey
Yeah.
ones. I had those. Those were hand me downs. I had like Roddy Piper and like the Iron Sheik and all that.
Yeah.
Which I wish I still had. My mom got rid of them. Like those things are probably worth money. But
Yeah, I wish I would have kept mine like that.
but yeah, like I had like I just remember like I wrote down on a list for Santa like every I'm remembering now like every one I wanted, and like they were like, we tried Santa, like we tried to get Mr. Perfect. And I was like, thanks Santa, it's okay. And like
I've actually thought about rebuying, not all of them, just Akeem the African Dream. His figures are so expensive right now on eBay, and he was one of my favorites as a kid. And my Akeem the African Dream figure, like that, snapped at the stomach, so like I had to throw that one away because it was like his legs separated.
Dancing action.
But I've actually thought about, since I wouldn't be playing with it, it would just be for display. I thought about rebuying it and propping it up.
Yeah, I tried the hardest. For some odd reason, the hardest to find was Typhoon. and earthquake.
Yeah.
Like, I had earthquake, but you couldn't find typhoon for some reason. And this is, obviously pre-Amazon and like
He was like
internet.
he was like the
And like everything,
chase version.
it's like it was like I was like I want typhoon, and my mom's like, I can't find them. We've gone to 9 stores, so we're not going to another Toys R Us.
There was no eBay at that time.
I know there was no like just type it in and it'll be in your door in 2 days.
Typhoon, formerly known as tugboat.
I always wanted the bushwhackers too.
No giant. We used to
I
have.
had
So they had
that shit,
this.
Jim Duggan, just a joom. I love their special. Their special was so bad. Like it was just like you just put them like we used to do it as kids, and I just remember thinking as I'm doing it, I'm like,
do you have?
how is this even really an effective move?
And they used to lick each other's heads.
And they just blow into the guy like with his head. Like those guys are so stupid. Dude, just like lick kids' heads. Like you try to do that in today's day and age, you're getting canceled.
Oh,
Is that the hand?
Yeah,
That exists.
that's the hand bit. That's the hand bit.
That looks
Yeah.
like a hand
That's not
nutsack.
the macro-made version.
So,
you
so yeah, definitely can't really do a handy. With
Yeah, that's not the question.
They cut a
It's
hole
gonna
in it.
now we create.
Yeah.
It's like, sweetheart, I've modified the hand holding.
What did you get me? I got you a bucket of popcorn with a special trapdoor in it. Enjoy. Next.
All right, Josh. I think you're the last one to go.
No, I didn't go yet either.
You kind of did, but
No, I'll go ahead. All right, so I know this may sound kind of selfish of me, but I would say that the least favorite gifts I've ever gotten are those ones that kind of like that you kind of alluded to it with your girlfriend, like no thought goes into it. It's just like give something to somebody to give it to somebody. It's almost like when you go to a big family function and people just feel like they got to give you something, and you end up getting like a dollar store flashlight or something like that. It's like you could have like saved your money there. And I've gotten a few of those over the years, and I'm just like, you know what? I get you're trying to give me something, but realistically, what am I going to do with that? You could have just saved your dollar. So I know
the Saints coffee mug.
you got your use out of it.
My dad was using it the other day.
So yeah, I know it sounds kind of selfish to say like, yeah, you got something crappy, but it's just like realistically, you look at that and you say, man, you really could have just saved your couple of dollars and not not given it to me, because it's either like a small tool from the dollar store or a flashlight or something like that.
What am I going to do with a gun rack?
I know, that's what I was saying.
I don't even own
It's a
gun.
towel rack,
Once
buddy.
necessitating an entire ring.
Much like Todd pointed out the bikes, he can probably almost attest to this as well. And this relates to also what you said on your favorite end, Biff, is Todd and I are collectors. We've got our man cave shelving that's filled with hundreds of figurines, and you can almost, even as a 39-year-old, I think the gifts I get most excited about are something that's going to go in my man cave, whether that be
Kamara Crunch.
a bobblehead or any kind of old school figurine. But one of them that really just kind of stands out is we go back to when MMA first got popular, and they had
We did get that for
obviously
Christmas, didn't we?
we did. Back obviously UFC has always been kind of the biggest name in mixed martial arts, but back in the day they used to have their rival out in Japan called Pride Fighting Championships. Pride Fighting Championships put out their line of action figures, and they were made by a brand called HAO, and it was HAO. And back then the figurines were probably like $30 or $40, but they were actually a nice size PVC figurine. I've got a Mirko Krokop figurine from my parents, and my Todd across the table here had a Heath Herring.
The Texas Crazy Horse.
And even though those figurines, like you look at that and you say, man, your parents paid $30 or $40 for that, and like yeah they did, but now because that organization closed up, those figurines are worth somewhere in the hundreds now. Like if you check on eBay, they're selling for $200 or $300, and like that's one of the centerpieces of my shelving of action figures. So that one kind of stands out, but it's not really just that. It's really kind of any. I'm still get excited when I get stuff to prop in man cave, whether that comes from Todd, whether that comes from Heather. Things that go in my man cave are probably the favorite things I get for Christmas.
Now, Travis mentioned earlier that his house burned down, the bike, his Dyno VFR got stolen. When your house was burning down, Travis, was the Krokop figure the first thing you thought about burning up?
Not necessarily just that figure. I mean, it was kind of like the realization that my man cave was all gone. Now, luckily, the fire had actually started on the right side of the house, and my man cave was all the way to the left. So it was actually the one part of the house that was not destroyed, which, again, sounds kind of selfish.
Lucky you, says your wife.
Yes. She wasn't very happy about that. But
She spent like an hour after the house burned down looking for her ring.
we eventually found it. We eventually found it. But yeah, my realization of that was like I thought everything was gone, and I just kind of accepted it. But when reality hit and they said, "Oh no, the fire didn't get to your garage," I was able to clear out all that stuff and save everything, which was great.
Good deal. Awesome.
The eBay gods were on your side.
Well, I guess I'll start off with my worst gift, just so we can, end on a good note. My worst gift was like a Bart Simpson soap.
Was it shaped like Bart Simpson?
It was shaped like Bart Simpson.
I think I had one.
Was it had a rope on his head?
I don't think it had a rope.
At first, I thought Josh was going to start talking about the Burger King Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
And then he fucking said soap. I was like, oh, man.
I remember those.
Yeah.
They had so many Bart Simpson things.
It was like the 90s. I was like a
Yeah.
kid, and so like, it's like, oh yeah,
Great.
I'm dirty. Thank you for the soap.
Gosh, you stink. Here's some
Yeah.
soup.
But my favorite gift, I would say, and just being a musician, it was like one of the first CDs I ever got was Presidents of the United States.
Yes.
It was like I was so hyped to get that CD as a kid.
Of America, say the full title.
Yeah, Presidents of the United States of America.
With the frogs on the cover.
Yes.
And peaches.
Lump and peaches. And,
I remember liking that whole album. I would listen to it from beginning to end.
yeah, like,
Josh, is that it?
Oh my God.
yes, that is it. That is it. That's it. That is it.
Get that on video.
That looks like a candle.
It looks like a bad chia pet.
And like I didn't even want to use it. Like I was like, because it was like, oh, it's Bart Simpson.
It looks
and, like,
dead.
The head fell off.
It looks dead, like he's mummified.
What was the scent? Tutankhamun.
I'm like
It says
shame and
wash it, dude. Wash what? You take his head and ram it between your balls?
Wash your balls and booty hole.
Take Bart Simpson's face and rub it on your
Wash
taint.
that taint. Yep.
Thank you, Grayson. You just gave me another one. Sorry, guys.
Bad soap.
I think that was a great little list of good gifts and bad lists that we went through there. One thing we didn't do yet is go around the table and say, what's everybody drinking tonight?
oh
I'll start. I'm drinking what I drank the night of the Halloween party.
no.
That got me sick, so
You drinking there?
hopefully I don't get sick
We're
tonight.
not outside, so you can't yak like Mike. It's
So I'm drinking the golden
Oh, that's what the
spice
bomb was.
Kraken
The bomb.
with Pepsi regular black, not
Pepsi Black.
Pepsi black,
Not ultra black?
not Max. Sean is clear to let us know.
It's just zero
Max was
sugar.
good.
I know, I almost stopped buying it, but it's just Pepsi Zero Sugar now.
He likes to have options.
How much caffeine's in it now? Only like 38 milligrams.
Oh, that's
It
trash.
used to be like 68.
We
Yep.
need that infused.
Yeah, can't
That
have your heart
infused
explode.
lemonade, 300 milligrams.
Yeah.
You used to drink that instead of my morning coffee.
Yeah, it's not Panera Charge Lemonade.
Panera start your heart day.
Josh, by the way, you can go on eBay right now and buy that Bart Simpson soap.
That's okay.
Oh,
How good?
It's $40.
Wow.
if only you held on to it that long.
It's
Like I'm
Did you
charging
know
as
hard it
much
is
right
not
now
to
for a
open the
USB interface.
I got this in second grade. You know how hard it is to not open that?
I remember those things, man. Like I think I bought them from either Toys R Us or KB Toys. Obviously, long before I started working at KB Toys.
The soap.
But I remember, the soap. I remember that thing vividly.
It was weird.
Creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
At the side, that solid color, but he doesn't even have an eyeball or a pupil. It just looks like he's
And who chose the brown?
that color. It was like
Yeah, I
an
know.
orangish
It's like-
beige. You know.
Yeah. It's like
Well, they were yellow.
Well, right,
they
but
were-
it's but
they
that,
were-
it
they
doesn't
were
look
right.
like your shirt looks more yellow, like the appropriate yellow for a Simpsons
They
character.
didn't have the artificial flavors and stuff.
Yeah,
It was successful in the 90s.
Yeah,
It was the 90s. It was like
I'm
ancient.
gonna go ahead and go place a bid on this
It was
thing
They were
right
still
now.
using asbestos.
the answer to so many things. It was the '90s,
It's like that's an excuse for so much. It's like
right?
It's like we ate 900 grams of sugar after school snacks. It was the 90s. You know?
Mhm.
Have a fruit roll up with your gushers. You know.
Oh, that was awesome.
I know.
Yeah,
That was
the
like
fruit
a healthy
snacks.
snack. Yeah.
Yes, the fruit snack.
The fruit snack episode.
Josh, would you consider gushers a
It's a big
candy?
debate.
Oh, yeah.
Candy or
Candy.
fruit snack?
It's candy.
Fruit snack.
As Patrick looks at me.
Fruit snack.
That's my brother right there.
I'm
Thank you,
sorry.
Josh.
They're a fruit snack with,
Thanks, Josh.
with a little extra.
I think
Well, you know what?
gushers are on the fence.
Let's keep this trend going. Josh,
We don't. We made it through
What?
Gushers are bisexual
what
fruit
do
snacks.
you what do you put in your hot dog?
Oh man.
Mustard.
Do you do ketchup at all?
No.
Okay, but you do mustard. But you do mustard.
Nobody
I do
eats
mustard.
ketchup on hot dogs but you.
And kids.
Okay.
Kids.
Well, then fucking
Yeah.
call me a kid.
That's what I was going to say. Whenever I was little, ketchup. Totally.
Chopping.
But
Cut up hot dogs.
Yeah, like
Hot
just
dog.
like all little cut up and like eating with a fork. Like
That's what I lived off of for 5 years.
Patrick cuts it up.
Cut up hot dogs and mac and
little
cheese.
like wiener dog things to drop on top.
But I prefer a brat over a hot dog. I'd rather brat.
Let's get adult here. I prefer a
And we have a burger, steak, and a brat.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Whenever I eat my hot dog, I put my pinky up.
Great coupon only on my life.
Please and thank you.
You know what? The height of sophistication.
Only on my brat. Do you have a honey mustard, please?
Give a nice Dijon.
Great proposal.
Speaking of the 90s, you remember when Grey Poupon was supposedly all like hoity-toity and it was just
It
like
was just some
shitty mustard
Yeah.
that was like $3.
It's like we all thought it was the height of sophistication, but
Because
the two
the
guys in fandom.
It's amazing.
Yeah, because the commercial had the fucking Rolls and the Rolls Royce.
The commercials.
They would roll down the window. It's great
marketing.
Do you think it's great marketing?
Also, who the fuck would keep like mustard in their car? Like, excuse me, you have any Grey Poupon?
It's like,
Like,
hey, rich
oh, actually,
guy.
I do have some mustard.
It's
Would
a
you
rich
like
guy.
some?
It's like,
sir?
you eating hot dogs right
Open up the fridge. Leonard, open up the fridge.
Of course, there's Grey Poupon in our Rolls Royce.
Yeah. Jeffrey, put it in park. Let me get the Grey Poupon for our fine gentleman friend
Our
across the aisle.
$3.99
Yeah.
mustard. You know,
The
like,
Rolls Royce pulls up to the Quickie Mart and
I
goes
see
and
what you
buys
did there.
Grey Poupon.
With Jeffrey. Were you talking about the butler from Freshman?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
Jeffrey.
I see what you did there.
names out there.
He was the best character on the show.
A cookie is just a cookie, but Newtons are fruit and cake. Remember those commercials?
Oh,
It's like, oh, they're just
Sophisticated.
they're just fig
Fig
Newtons.
Newtons, yeah.
The serving size of Fig Newton, do you know that?
2 cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who ever ate 2 Fig Newton
I
cookies?
forget
Well,
what
the
comedian-
serving size
I
of
can't have Fig Newtons.
Jim
They,
Gaffigan.
they're,
Was it Gaffigan?
I'm
He's like,
allergic.
I eat him by the sleeve.
no, Brian Regan.
Oh, it's Regan. He's like, 2 cookies, I eat them by the sleeve.
yeah, but like the pop
Pop-Tart.
like is one Pop Tart, but they're packaged in 2.
Yeah.
But the serving size is one Pop Tart. It's like, so we're just gonna leave it in the
So you
open bag.
No, you just say-
Pop-Tart?
You just say fuck those calories and eat both of them.
get nice and
Oh, yeah.
stale.
I mean, like they should package them individually in that Pop Tart Kellogg's.
Resealable bag.
That'd
True
be
story
nice.
though. Travis is allergic to figs, so if he ate a Fig Newton, he might die. According to
So-
Marilyn saw.
his serving size-
Don't tell Brian Newman that. He might fucking show up with figs and shit like that to the next fucking rendezvous.
Like the next draft, it's like, hey Travis, would you like a Fig Newton?
You're on the ground choking.
I got you.
It was so funny. He's dying. Oh, like,
Hey man, it was just a goof.
you're a goof, you silly goose.
We love you, Newman. By the way, Newman did listen to the last pod, and he said he made a valid point here. He said, "Is Gremlins considered a Christmas movie?"
Yes.
I believe so.
So
I would say it falls into the same realm as Die Hard and Just Friends.
It's
and
Christmas or a
And Love
Christmas
Actually.
time.
Alone.
And you've got mail.
You've got mail.
You need to have a genre of Christmas time movies, meaning set at Christmas. That doesn't mean they're about Christmas.
this kind of
Friday
goes
After
back
Next.
to kind of what we're talking about
Friday After
when
Next.
Biff got here was
Third Albert Kumar.
should we redo top 5 comedians because of the fact that
They have a
it may have
third
changed
album
since the last time we did it.
Redo.
I think a lot of us could go back and rethink that and say that Gremlins could be a top 5 movie. But anyway, but Biff's drinking Kraken, and I gotta
we
say,
got way off topic.
Man, we got way off topic
I
there
don't-
for about 10 minutes.
I don't think Kraken has ever put out a bad rum. To tell you the truth, I think everyone,
they're all good.
everyone
I've
I've
got
had
the
there-
coffee
Just
and
only drinking
no,
them
I've got
all.
3 of them. I've got the 94 proof, the 70 proof, and the coffee up there right now. So there's 4 Krakens in the house right
And
now.
they have the Kraken Black, the Kraken Gold, the Kraken the dark roast coffee one.
Would you say it'd be cracking in this house?
It would be Kraken in this house, yeah.
Every one of them's good.
Crack-a-lack.
So, Josh, what are you drinking tonight?
Dudesy hard seltzer.
I thought it was a juvie juice at first.
No, no.
Got an interesting can.
Yeah, it's
Is that
you don't
Ozzy
care
on the
what
side?
it
What
tastes
is
like.
that?
It's several characters from the Dudesy podcast.
Okay.
You got Chad Colchin and Will Sasso. Will Sasso was on Mad TV.
Mad TV,
Will
yeah.
Sasso's hilarious.
That's Chad Colchin is a Hollywooder.
Shout out to Dudesy if you're listening.
Got Lulio on the can.
I know
on the-
Jesse the Body Ventura.
So where did you get this?
I subscribe to the Patreon, so it's
So you got that mailed to you?
Oh yeah, I got it mailed to me.
Okay.
They basically came up with this before they even came up with the actual product.
Yeah.
They started thinking of like jingles and what the can would look like and everything like that. And you don't care what it tastes like; you just want to get fucked.
All right.
up.
I have 2 311 cans that I saved from 311 4-packs that I ordered, and one of them was good. The other one was like pretty terrible. It was an IPA that I couldn't stand, but whatever. I got a 311 can out of
We
it.
do that.
It's kind of like a passion fruit or like tropical fruit seltzer. It's pretty good. Like truth be told, I did get tired of it after a while, but it's been a few months since I drank some. So
What's the alcohol content on that thing?
8%.
Oh,
really?
Nice.
And it's a pint.
All right, I'm going to go next. I decided to get Sazerac straight rye whiskey, distilled right here in New Orleans.
Does it taste like shit like Gentilly Gin?
No,
I beg to differ on that one, but yeah.
you like Gentilly Gin or the Sazerac tastes like shit?
Gentilly Gin.
Sazerac
I mean, it's better when you
great.
mix it with Sprite and stuff. You
The
know?
first time I actually had it was in Kentucky when we were during that really cold snowstorm that we had, even down here. We were actually up in Louisville, Kentucky when that shit happened. And that's actually the first time I tried Sazerac was at our hotel bar. But every time I go to Total Wine, I feel like it's on display and it's just kind of eyeballing me. Well, on Tuesday, I had a conference at work for counselors, and why is everybody laughing? Why do I feel like everybody's laughing?
I'm not laughing.
I don't know. I saw them giggling. So.
Your fucking brother looks at
He
me.
was saying it was on display. So,
Patrick
I'm
and
thinking-
Travis look like two fucking schoolgirls laughing over here.
It was spread eagle.
Maybe we are.
Let me hurry and finish this. So every time I was in fucking Total Wine, I saw Sazerac on display, and I was like, maybe I should get it.
Biff, I
Well-
need you to compress this audio real quick.
I was at a conference for my job at the Roosevelt Hotel,
Yeah,
who
compress his
has the
fucking
Sazerac bar inside of it, and I was like, all right, I'm going to get Sazerac. So I got it. And I'm a pussy, so I've been drinking it with fucking Pepsi Zero Sugar. I'm not a
Pepsi
man, and I
Black.
can't drink it straight. So, yes, Pepsi Black and Sazerac for me.
Black and Sazerac.
Fuck y'all.
Sazerac.
What kind of people did you run into at Total Wine?
Definitely not Patrick. He wasn't there. Let's see.
You sure right? I was not there.
There was a fella in a shawl.
Is there a man in a sweater?
It was a shawl.
Okay.
Like a dress that's kind of cut down the middle.
Great description of a shawl.
Dress is good.
I don't if he's listening to me.
Did he help you?
He had blue hair and a blue shawl.
Was he very helpful?
Did he help you?
I didn't
It matched
ask
the hair?
him. I saw the Sazerac. I found it on my own.
Did the shawl match the drapes?
Matched the hair.
Jesus.
Certainly matched the hair, yes. Thanks, Patrick.
Sorry, I was at another store. Sorry.
No.
Also, you didn't tell me you were going when you went.
It was a spur of the moment decision.
Okay. Don't say thanks, Patrick, when you didn't tell me you were going to be there.
Y'all bring it up and then
We just assume you live there. Like, thanks for not being home, Patrick.
Thanks for not being cool.
Yeah.
Well, look, I got 2 beers in front of me. I've got one's good,
He's double fisting.
one's good, one's kind of a disappointment. I've got the
He means beer.
I ended
I
up
don't
picking
know
up
if he does.
I ended up picking up a keg of St. Arnold's fancy lawnmower for our
ugly Christmas sweater party, which happens tomorrow night.
There is no St. Arnold's in your hand, though.
Shout out to St. Arnold's Brewing.
Oh.
But while I was at Elio's wine cellar getting this keg, which shout out to Elio's, they're great people over there.
Yes, they are.
I saw Founder's Breakfast Stout. It is a double chocolate coffee oatmeal stout, and it is actually very delicious.
I love Founders.
Like this was one that like I can.
You get a whole
I like
meal.
oatmeal
Where's it from?
Get a whole meal on a bottle.
I'm excited for tomorrow.
Fancy lawnmower?
Well, I got a stout I'm gonna bring tomorrow.
Nice.
I'm gonna bring eggnog
Well,
tomorrow.
here, you can talk about your other one. I'll find it.
Screwball eggnog.
And so I got the Founder's Breakfast Stout, which is very delicious. Got that from Elio's Wine Cellar. And then yesterday or 2 days ago, I happened to be at Total Wine, and I was picking up some gift cards for some coworkers, and I stumbled upon this Leinenkugel Red Lager, which we've shouted out Leinenkugel before on the show. And Leinenkugel hasn't really put out a bad beer.
They stopped putting up that
Yay.
wheat when you like the
They did, the Sunset Wheat. You listen, Josh.
Yeah,
Josh
I do
listens.
listen. I listen.
But
What I'm going to do?
the red lager, it's okay. It's like kind of a little disappointing. I was thinking it was going to taste like maybe a Killian's Irish Red. It's got a little bit of a sour taste to it. It's not as not as much of a red lager as I thought it was. It doesn't taste as much like a red lager as I thought it would. It's a little bit kind of a little bit of a sour taste to it. I'm a little disappointed, but not to say it's a bad beer. I wouldn't kick it out of bed or anything. But it's
Sleep with your
You know what I wouldn't kick out of bed?
Hillary Duff.
Amongst other things.
A certain cousin of
Hillary
hers.
Tank.
Redacted! And we're done.
And stop.
Anyway, it's okay. Not like other Leinenkugel beers, but Leinenkugel Red. No, and by the way, bring back your Sunset Wheat. We mentioned Brian Newman. That's his favorite beer. Bring back Leinenkugel Sunset Wheat.
That's right.
It's delicious.
By the way, your Founders is from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Grand Rapids. Shout out to Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Where's Leinenkugel from? It's like
That's in Milwaukee. Yep.
Milwaukee.
Where they make the best
Milwaukee,
Bush.
which means the
Beer
good
town. Beer town.
It's Brew City, baby.
Speaking of Milwaukee, I'll segue to mine because I'm drinking a Miller Lite.
It's a rare breed.
I'm drinking a
the
Miller
first light beer ever.
light lager.
Yeah.
It's John Madden.
I don't. Yeah.
It is
did
aged 4
commercials for
months.
in the 70s.
Patrick seems,
It's cool.
seems to have lost his taste buds over the last couple weeks.
Nope. Patrick just had a
Patrick just had
leftover beer, and Patrick needs it gone. So that's what we're drinking.
The
Miller
same thing
Lite.
with the dudesies.
That's it.
Get rid of them.
So you're saying you don't really like the dudes yet?
It's good, but
I'm tired of them.
yeah, like
It's not very
I got
juicy.
like 12. If y'all want to drink any,
That's good. I'll
It's
try
kinda
one.
like the
You brought
Yingling-
12 with you.
Kind of like the Yingling Hershey's chocolate porter that Jessica's Uncle Gene gave me and Patrick.
And me. Well,
I
That's
handed
5 rocks, yeah.
I have some now.
I still got about 10 of them in my kegerator. I was thinking about bringing some tonight, and I was like, you know what? I just really don't feel like drinking that anymore.
I've got a whole 12. I haven't even opened the 12 pack.
Patrick,
I still have 10 cases.
Patrick, did your buddy that came with us like kind of distribute that shit out to the tailgate?
Yeah, he's been giving it out to people. And still drinking it too.
I mean, I love the beer, but it's just like I can't drink that much of it like all in a row. You know?
Where did he get all of that from? He had like a
It was
pallet of it.
It was a wrecked truck. His son-in-law,
A wrecked truck.
his son-in-law works for
Wrecked him. Dan near killed him.
wrecked him,
Yeah.
and the truck got wrecked. So insurance like claimed everything. So like they had to get rid of it. So he took it and
Sounds
he
like
had
he
to go
stole it. I ain't gonna lie.
Sounds like a Breaking Bad.
Sounds like
story.
one of those great stories where it's like, yeah, it's like they couldn't use this in my job. Like my dad told me that when he got
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you.
loud capping my dad, but he stole some speakers from
God damn it, Bob.
Adam, not Adams. Where was he disciplinary? T.H. Harris. And they had like some computer speakers, and he's like, don't tell mom, but
Wait, we're not name dropping. It's B.J. Maris. B.J. Maris Elementary School.
where was he disciplinarian from years 05?
It rhymes with Schmishmortion.
I mean, like, they were getting rid of him supposedly, but, like, they were from his office. He's like, I want to do speakers, you know.
Didn't somebody steal a podium from a school one day?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think so.
Wagon waste.
No one we know.
Mm-mm. Sounds like someone I used to know, maybe.
Sounds like a ghost.
But this story actually reminds
He
me
starred in
of
Ghost Shark.
after Hurricane Katrina. Me and Travis worked for First Lake Properties, and there were so many people that just left all their shit in their apartments. They moved out of state. They never came back.
Yeah.
So they left all their shit in apartments, and me and Travis had to clean that shit out. And they're like, "Well, you can't take that. You got to throw it away." I was like, "Yeah, fuck, I am."
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
So we were taking like TVs and
Bobbleheads?
I don't think I
Half the
found any
man
bobbleheads though.
My whole
I got like a shop vac.
there was a
All right, man.
WCW collector that I found it
A dirt devil.
I did find a thing of protein powder that was still wrapped.
sealed.
But then when I tasted it, I'm pretty sure it was a big fucking bucket of cocaine.
For the record, you would know if it was cocaine.
Because your face
Certainly
Did
didn't taste like protein powder.
trees really fast?
Did you start have like a develop an itch? Did you have the shits?
It's like protein powder.
I took one sip. I took one sip of it, and I was like, "That ain't protein powder," and I dumped it out. So I don't know what the rest of it was, but
I've been creative.
Dehydrated bull semen?
You dumped out thousands of dollars of cocaine.
I mean, like, come on, dude. It's a gift. Could have been rich.
John, that leaves you.
To me?
last.
Sean,
I was about to say, I'm on the last one. As I'm polishing off my Cayman Jack margarita in a glass bottle. I don't know why.
was semen.
It
looks
sure
like
looks like it.
The Cumming Jack.
I mean, I've had these in a can before, like the different, like Paloma and the other ones, the variety packs of Cayman Jack. I don't know why these were in a glass bottle, but they're zero.
That's how some of them come now.
They're zero sugar, so they're easy to drink. And I guess getting the job done. But I pulled this out. I got yet another Shiner, the Shiner Hill Country Peach Wheat that I saw. I've had one so far. It's pretty decent. I don't know.
Great Christmas, Sean.
I know. I don't know if I drink this year round, but yes, it's a peach beer by Shiner. You know how many times we've shouted out Shiner on this podcast.
Yeah, I like Shiner.
But once again, it falls in line with there's not a bad Shiner beer. I
I
Shiner
like those
Bock.
Shiners.
It's a block of beers.
so it sounds like the wagons still need to take a road trip out to Shiner.
Yes.
With Biff and Josh coming along on it too.
The Shire.
Where the hell is Spitzel, Texas?
I think it's pretty close to Houston, I believe. I don't think
I believe so.
Is it
Listen, if we're going beer trip in Texas,
beer trip?
we know where we're stopping. We're stopping at Brash. We're stopping at Equal Parts. I'm excited, not to derail you talking about what you're drinking, but I kind of sent to the
Vulgar
group.
display of power.
So that's back now. The price went up on it, but it's back. But they're also releasing tomorrow their, it's called like Night Snake or Night Cobra. It's a double coffee imperial milk stout. It used to be called Black Masses, and with their rebrand, they renamed all their beers. So that comes out tomorrow. So I will be bringing that back home for post Christmas, and I'm excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Purple Cobras.
It was a Guerrero that had that finisher in wrestling, right? Where you'd be like,
Splash.
I was doing dodgeball with them.
The Purple Cobras. Yeah.
yeah.
Purple Cobras.
Did you see the meme or the whatever with like talking about like Ben Stiller at the end of dodgeball complaining about the call, like Patrick Mahomes complaining about.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This is the worst call I've ever heard in the history of sports.
Over the
I love-
last, over
He
the
was
last
like complaining.
Sorry, I love the memes going around with Patrick, not Patrick, by Patrick Mahomes, not Patrick here.
No.
And he, making with Kermit the Frog because of the way he talks. He's angry.
Mahomes and Mahauto.
Oh yeah, on the mic.
So, since we're done going around the table with beers, I don't know if y'all saw the recent dealings in baseball and the $300 million contract that Shohei Ohtani signed with the Dodgers. What do y'all think about that?
I thought it was 700.
Yeah,
700 million.
Yeah.
700
million.
And it's
700 million.
and it's not just that it's 700 million. They deferred
so much
680 million
He's
of
going to
that.
make $2 million per year until he retires or something.
Wow, why did I think it was
He was
3?
making like $2 a second, right?
It's going to be an Otani
Dude,
day.
it's insane.
Yeah, but per season, he's only
Yeah.
while he's playing, he's only going to make $2 million.
Yeah, so the way they did the
so then he's
contract,
going to be Bobby Bonilla getting paid till
10
next
Yeah, it's going to
century.
be an Otani day in like
yeah,
2065.
10 years,
We'll have the
he
Waste
makes
of Wagons
$2 million a year.
podcast.
After that, they owe the other 680 over like however many years after that. So
I
yeah,
mean, if baseball even exists.
So basically, he could be dead by the time he's finished.
You know, once the world ends, they're still going to be paying.
yeah, and like
it's like
so
Otani's going to be like, oh, the league folded, but I still get my.
so yeah. No matter if anything happens to him, he still gets the money. Like
They
the
sell the club. And,
well, no, the club has insurance on if something happens to him, so like they would get some of their money back.
I got it.
But his family / estate still gets all of that money.
Crazy.
But
But
yeah,
that deferred, like those contracts don't make any sense. Only in baseball do they do that.
right. It's only in baseball. So yeah, they're deferring 680 million, which is going to allow them to go sign other players, which they just did, because they have all this money that they're free from because they don't owe all of this 700 million right now.
Right.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I didn't know the setup of it, but 700 million is just stupid.
I saw like a meme that was talking about like if Purdy from the 49ers to make the amount of money
But
that
play till he's
Otani-
100 and something or
Yeah,
something.
like 300 something
Yeah.
seasons in the NFL
Yeah.
to make that amount of money.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
I mean, I know I'm probably stating the obvious here, but I just feel like somewhere down the road, baseball needs some kind of salary cap because when you see these big money free agents like Otani hit the market, you know, as a Cleveland Guardians fan, realistically, I mean, I read an article over the offseason where they said that Andreas Jimenez, who's, you know, my current favorite Cleveland Guardians player, is actually somewhat friends with Otani, and he was trying to lure him to the Guardians. But I'm sitting here looking at that and saying, realistically, how on earth would the Guardians be able to afford a guy like that when you know the Yankees are going to offer so much more money, the Dodgers are going to offer so much more money? It's just, you know, somewhere along the lines, like, I know we kind of, you know, bitch about other sports and how, you know, they're able to restructure people and things like that. But when you have teams like the Yankees and the Dodgers who are just able to go get whoever they want, I mean, it kind of takes the fun out of it. You know, it takes, you know, any big name free agent that hits the market, you know, they're going to have first dibs at.
Sure. And like, especially with the Yankees getting Soto. Granted, they didn't give him that contract initially, but they're taking on that contract and they're going to pay him. So it's just the rich are getting richer, and now the rich are finding ways to circumvent the general rules / spirit of how things are going, and so they're getting richer still. I think basketball has some sort of metric in play, like the luxury tax, where if you spend over a certain amount, you at least have to pay way more. Like the Warriors are dealing with that because they have like a $400 million roster, but they have to pay so much in tax to carry that kind of salary for a season.
How the luxury tax works. I've never fully understood it.
But it makes more sense because, like,
But I mean, like, at least there's a cap. You know,
Like there's
baseball is just astronomically ridiculous.
I'm gonna try not to speak out of context because I don't know all the luxury tax rules, but basically you have a soft cap and a hard cap. Once you go over that hard cap amount, you have to start paying taxes on the amount that you're over the size. So like
you got the money,
so yeah, you can get around, but still, but you also have to make a decision. Like, hey, yeah, like signing Draymond Green. And we'll talk about him in a second. Giving him $100 million, that's going to put them well over their cap level. But like, you have to then manage, like, hey, do I really want to pay another, like, say 40% in taxes just to sign this player, even though you have the ability to do it? You might have the money. That money comes from the owner now.
Right.
So
it makes you really think about it, you know, whereas in baseball, they don't have to if they have the money.
Right.
But, Todd, how do you feel about the Yankees signing Juan Soto?
I mean, you know, I'm an Orioles fan, so I worried. All the Orioles fans were like, let's not worry about the future because, I mean, we have a bright future ahead of us. We have all this young talent. And even though the Yankees suck balls this year, I was worried most about them because it's like they have all the money in the world, dude. They're just going to reload in free agency. And, I think the big thing I really wanted to kind of add to this was, I was thinking about it earlier today. It's like when you're drafted as a player out of college and out of high school and you get drafted by the Yankees, what are your opinions on that? Because are you even going to make it to the fucking Yankees? Because, I mean, they don't, their farm system sucks. Right. It's one of the lowest grades in baseball. Basically, they might not even use you because they're just going to fish for the biggest free agent on the market and put them in that spot.
When you take a look at their starting outfield right now, you're looking at now Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto.
Right. 3
of the best power hitters in baseball in their outfield.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
Now this has backfired on them a lot lately. I mean, not this season, but last season they were like the number 1 team going into the playoffs, and they absolutely choked. And I'd love to see it.
Yeah, they haven't really. I mean, I know when they tried to go get what's the pitcher that they got from a couple years ago,
Garrett Cole.
Yeah, when they got Cole, they tried to fix some of the pitching issues, but then they decided, we're just going to buy hitters and try to out-hit the lack of pitching quality that we have, and it hasn't worked out for them. I'm happy for it. Same thing with the Dodgers. They haven't really done anything. They won a World Series 1 or 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I think.
With buying all of this talent, spending all this money, but you look at the Braves. The Braves have done. The Braves have a lot of stars, and they have not paid a lot of money for it. But granted, you could say that Albies and some other players they should get more money, but the Braves have been smart about building their team within a reasonable amount of payroll and still getting good results out of it. The Dodgers are just throwing a ton of money and not getting anything out of it. The Yankees have not gotten anything out of it. The Yankees got their ass kicked by the Orioles, who have a far, far smaller payroll.
The Orioles hit the lowest payroll in baseball at the beginning of this season.
Mm. And look at what the Rays have done. Granted, they haven't gotten to the ultimate prize, but they're still.
The Rays just traded away Tyler Glasnow.
Right.
And outside of this year, because we're not going to talk about the Oakland A's this year, but the A's, with Billy Beanball, have done it for a long time too.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't necessarily have to do it. Now, what happens if a guy like Ohtani, he's a pitcher and a hitter, and he goes out and has to have Tommy John surgery in the first couple of weeks of the season?
Well, that's what they're doing with now. He can't pitch 2024 because of his Tommy John.
Yeah, exactly.
He can only hit.
Yeah.
So one of his 10 years, he's only going to be he'll be half as effective as he could be to them.
Right.
So that's a lot of money to give to a player that you paid to do both, and he can't do it for at least 1 year.
But I would say, the numbers that he's putting up, the last time that anything like this was done was Babe Ruth time 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, while I don't agree with, the ridiculous amount of money that gets put up by baseball in the way that they're able to do that just because of the unfair way of splitting revenue. It's understandable.
Oh, there's no doubt denying the fact that Ohtani is like a generational talent.
Oh, yeah.
And he's probably earned the biggest contract in baseball.
I don't.
$700 million.
The number is astounding, but for paying an exorbitant amount for a player that can be arguably the best pitcher in baseball, and then paying an exorbitant amount of money for arguably the best hitter in baseball to get it in one package, that's a great piece of business as for the Dodgers and their organization. The money just makes it so unbelievable. I don't. What was the highest contract before for this? 300, 400 something million, maybe.
Yeah, it's going to keep going up. We're going to hit $1 billion contract in our life.
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't think so because
football do that?
Yeah.
No.
Well, Mahomes did
No,
$500 million.
We're talking about real football, Jim.
Hey, whoa.
I see what you did there, man.
Hey,
You did there.
Jesus. What's his name?
Like Neymar or Mbappe.
Mbappe, didn't he get some stupid
he turned down
like a $1 billion contract?
He turned down about $500 million for 1 year.
For 1 year.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
But that's also the Saudi government. That's also Saudi money. So
it's
oil money. Right. Like, the Dodgers have money.
Right.
The Saudis have fucking money. Yeah.
So like the Saudi princes that like they think when their car runs out of gas, you just go get a new one.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Well, we can.
it's like no, I'm serious. Like
The buildings are literally
one of there's a story of a Saudi prince that like he ran out of gas. He's like, so this don't work no more. I gotta get another one or whatever. It's like no, you just fill it up.
I got an email from that guy saying he had some money for me. Yeah,
I think I had that one too.
I sent him like $600,000.
Pretty sure that guy got my new iPhone set up for me online. Shout out to that guy.
I think there should be an NFL setup for all sports leagues. Because, I mean, you got a salary cap.
I think baseball needs a salary cap.
You split the revenue evenly amongst all 32 teams. And then
To make the level of playing field competitive, I think baseball needs a salary cap.
You know, and NFL's got kind of ridiculous with the quarterback contracts though too. I mean, you know, you see, I heard them mention during last night's game that Herbert at one point this year had the highest contract
For like, what,
And
2 minutes?
Yeah,
Something like that. 20 minutes maybe, I think
Lamar
it was.
Jackson beat
yeah, he was the highest paid player.
but
For a
you know,
minute.
he's kind of underachieved this year, and now he's out for the year. So
Edward Fingerhands.
Yeah.
Breaking all the
At least in like the NFL, like yes, the QB salaries are going up, but you still have a very hard cap to work in. They got,
yeah, but
and
the QBs are so valuable.
I agree, but you have to also manage how much you pay them
I agree,
because
'cause the Saints are still dealing with fallout from Drew Brees'.
I heard they're selling a used car.
Josh loves some Drew Brees.
Chad, would you like to talk about Drew Brees on the side?
How about the new Sliders restaurant?
How much?
Jimmy John's right down the street.
dude, I can't wait for new sliders. Small sliders. That place is amazing.
No, we're talking about Drew Brees. We're not
I know.
talking
Well, Drew
about-
Brees is
Yeah.
behind it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Am I going to get censored by talking about
It's
him?
going right there.
No,
I'm censored on
It's
our
going right there.
Absolutely.
By Target.
Who's gonna censor you?
I don't know.
The amount of shit we say about Sean Payton.
Yeah, it's just, it can get really bad.
Josh will speak in the minority among New Orleans fans here.
Oh yeah,
Well, what about Drew Brees?
yeah.
Go for it.
You might not be in the minority. Go on and speak.
Well, I mean, we're talking about ridiculous contracts.
Yeah.
$100 million for a 50,000 passing yards record.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem like a good return.
No, I think
Everybody's bitching about the
And-
Chick-fil-A going
And
on
just
Mary
yeah,
Road
like,
now.
he was, you know,
I think you one of the things too is like, you know, towards the end of his contract, or towards the end of that mega deal he signed, where you recognize that there was
160.
obviously something going on with his arm strength, and
Yeah, couldn't throw deep for shit.
I mean, he says he can't even throw with his right arm anymore, right?
he couldn't throw with his right arm whenever he played for the Saints. I mean, like, honestly, if it was like past 10 yards or 5 yards, he
Michael
wasn't making
Thomas,
the pass.
15-yard slants, dude. Like those little out routes.
No, 7-yard slants.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
but no,
You can't
like
throw past 10 yards.
like after the 2009 season, he had like a noodle arm beat, and so it was like we would joke like when we would watch football with our friends, and all the guys like the drunk Shalmatians that would be with us would be like, Drew Brees can't throw deep. I'm like, no, of course he can throw deep. He's Drew Brees. He's great. And then I'd watch these like moonsault passes that were just like underthrown and like just like receivers slowing down. It's like those aren't the fly routes he was nailing in 2009. You know.
No, I mean,
But I mean, we got a Super Bowl. I mean, like I'm still grateful for that. Like, I mean, because as hard as it is for small market franchises like ours to win Super Bowls.
I got an opinion about that too, but
You can share it. It's a podcast.
yeah, but it's just the receivers made that year.
2009?
Yeah. You had Colston, you had Lance Moore, you had Robert Meacham,
Reggie Bush. Lance Moore is extraordinarily
Reggie Bush.
underrated.
Pierre Thomas, bitch.
Without Reggie,
I don't think without that Lance Moore 2.0.
I don't think without Tracy Porter.
the truth.
to me, Reggie Bush was the catalyst for that whole 2009 season. There were so many games that were won by a Reggie Bush play, either returning a punt,
Yeah.
making a screen pass in Miami for like, was it like 80 yards, and he jumps over a dude to score a touchdown? Like,
Quick Super Bowl story. I was watching that Super Bowl with Sean, and he was pulling for the Colts halfway. And so, like, when Tracy Porter intercepted, I stood up and I was like, yes! And I was like, Sorry. I was like, sorry, Sean. I was like, but no.
Well, put Sean in a weird situation.
Oh,
His
come on.
favorite player.
He's got two favorite teams in the Super Bowl.
And
Sorry,
I'm sure y'all,
I remember one.
y'all could definitely relate with y'all's worst nightmare. Like if Philip Rivers was in the Super Bowl.
I remember one year when they predicted the Chargers to go against the Saints. It was probably right after the Saints won, and I was like, I really don't want to see the Chargers play the Saints in the Super Bowl. So yeah, I know it was probably.
I didn't feel weird at all of the Trump. I mean, like, I just like I was the only one cheering.
No, I mean,
Shaw was like, "Oh,
I got over it. I mean, I was fine. Yeah,
no, you weren't offended.
Yeah.
But like, it was just funny. Like,
That's how it was. I lived in Baton Rouge. In the grocery store that I worked at, we're gonna call it Italiano supermarket.
banging fines. No,
They were
Bang and
huge,
fines.
they were just huge Peyton Manning fans. They literally had a shrine at the back manager's office to Peyton Manning. Like all the newspaper articles, all clipped out and like taped all over the
really
walls.
awkward and weird. Huh?
But it was just like, dude, whenever we won the Super Bowl, I went hard. It was like everybody knew I was going to do something crazy. And so, like, whenever I came back to work, everybody's like following manager's office. And so, what I did before I went back to work, because the whole Super Bowl season, I lived in Baton Rouge. I would drive to New Orleans to watch the football games with my in laws at Tavern on Vets.
there you go.
And so, Super Bowl, I did the same thing. And, you know, slept here the night. And so I had to work the next morning,
Yeah.
you know, on Monday morning. So went to Rouse's, and I was like, I need a bunch of shopping bags, like paper bags. So I got a whole bunch of paper bags. I draw upside down Colts symbol, so it's like a sad face. I cut out the eye holes. I put that, not Peyton. All kinds of stuff. Like I wrote all over the bags, and it was like went to the owners of the store, went to the managers. Everybody was like, nobody leaves the Super Bowl empty-handed. We're all winners here. And started handing out bags. So they go, and I got promoted.
It's like an office space.
This guy's got some balls.
It's like an office space moment.
This guy's got upper management written all over it.
It's like I want to talk to you about.
But at the same time, I mean, there's no denying that the Mannings are like a staple in
No,
the
totally.
New Orleans community. I mean, they have the restaurant right there in Fulton Alley.
No, I'm a fan of the family, but I mean, like,
I was
I guess
kind of
it's the
hoping Arch would transfer to Ohio State, but that's just me.
I can say though, in all fairness, because of when you bringing that up, in 2011, I was very disappointed and so pissed when they lost to the 49ers in the playoffs.
oh yeah, that
Because
yeah.
I wanted Sproles and Jimmy Graham and all them to go to the Super Bowl. I thought for sure they should have played the Patriots in that Super Bowl. But
I mean,
Eli got another one. No offense to Eli. I like him
yeah.
too. But
The
yeah,
greatest Manning.
I'll never forget that game.
I
It's like,
just-
can somebody cover what was it?
I'm just saying, he's the only Manning that hasn't lost in
What
the
was
Super
his
Bowl.
name?
Vernon Davis.
Vernon Davis.
Vernon
yeah.
Davis
Good
catches the
Lord.
game winner and he's crying
Oh,
and
God,
shit.
Like he was like nobody could cover that guy.
I was watching that game at
Uncle Jimmy A. Carroll's.
old Seagull Point.
Oh, Seagull Point, yeah.
Damn, that goes back that far.
Memory lane.
Do we have to like cut this an hour?
No,
Or?
we're good.
Oh, okay. We just let it roll now. We don't do.
We
So
don't-
that's
we
just
don't-
record until midnight.
We're on Audacity,
we don't,
baby.
We don't get
just
the
roll.
breaks.
We just record straight
Roll.
through.
No breaks, sir.
Patrick, earlier you said you wanted to get back to Draymond Green, so
Oh, Jesus.
what do you have
The
to say about Draymond
UFC
Green?
up and comers.
No, I just
He's in a fight next week with John Jones.
John Jones and CM Punk.
What's going on?
It's a triple threat match.
What do y'all think's going on with that guy?
in the octagon?
That would be funny to watch an MMA fight with three guys. Two of them going at it and then another guy gets
It's
sucker
like John
punched.
Jones is just like wrecking CM Punk. Draymond's like,
Punching him in the side.
and then they look at him and like, yeah, it's your turn now, big boy.
it's like you're better than all of us at this.
No, like the Draymond thing, like
What are you doing? Yeah.
I like the Warriors not so much as a team, as a basketball team. I like watching them play. That they're
Right.
fun, they're entertaining. I don't care whether they win or lose per se, but like I remember Draymond from like Michigan State in college and not liking him then. Just gritty, good player, like gives his all. Gives a little too much all though. But yeah, he's clearly got like some stuff he needs to like work out. And I think that's why they said they gave him the indefinite suspension because he needs to take time away and work on himself and get back to some sense of being an adult and capable and deserving of playing in the NBA or whatever. But like, there's no excuse. There's no defense of that shit. It was just wild. Like, I love how he tried to like spin his story like, oh well, I don't normally apologize for things, but I want to apologize to Nurkic because I didn't really mean to do that this time.
Yeah, he didn't mean to do it.
What?
This time.
Flailing your arms. Like, what are you doing? There's no basketball move there. It was nothing.
Well, he definitely made a comment about like how I was like, oh, I was trying to sell a call, like or whatever, but like that goes beyond selling a call.
Yeah, no, like,
he did a
just
full
flailed his arms.
Yeah, he did like a full blown it's not spinning back.
There's nothing that Nurkic did to him that made you think he deserved that. You know?
Yeah.
Now listen, you want to fucking choke Rudy Gobert out for giving COVID to everybody or starting that whole thing? Cool. Everybody's on board. Like, yeah, choke Rudy Gobert out. Whatever. Like, what's Nurkic do to you? Ever. Nothing.
Can we briefly talk about the Pelicans in-season tournament game?
Go right ahead.
The ass beating by the Lakers?
The ass beating, but also to me,
I did like
I'm just going to call it now, and this is documented at Christmas time. The Lakers are going to win the league this year. I think they're giving LeBron his flowers because he's about to retire.
Yep.
He got every goddamn call in that game. Like every charge, every time he put his body up, oh, let's give him the charge. No other players in the NBA that's blocking one of the 3 times. And like to me, like as a Pelican, like if I was playing that game, like because I'm not saying they would have won had he not gotten those calls, but that deflates you as a team.
Oh yeah.
When like that's a big momentum shifter when they get that offensive charge. And it's like, oh yeah, and like that happened 3 times in a row. Sean's putting this on camera.
Put it away.
For those of you not looking, he's got the Hershey's Porter out,
Oh,
and he's probably going to have one, I guess.
No,
I mean, the game, like they might have won anyway. Like
Sure.
the Pelicans, but to me, like they got flattened.
Yeah, it was a beat.
did you see the
Momentum-wise.
game before that one though?
Like in the first
King-
quarter,
the King game was nice.
they were close. Like
No, the Lakers game against
yeah, it was
Suns.
Celtics.
Oh, you mean the
The
Lakers?
Suns,
game,
yeah.
okay.
Like, that it came down to the wire that they gave it to.
Well, and then
The Austin Reeves
LeBron
call.
James calls a timeout.
Yes.
When they don't
And
have
they
possession.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's completely biased and
Yeah.
set up for the.
And I'm usually a LeBron fan. Like I'm honestly like, but
Fuck Lee.
I don't. I mean,
Nah, man.
but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I don't like.
I'm
when
not a
people
LeBron
get-
hater. Let's put it that way.
I am.
Get calls
I
like
am.
that.
I'm a hater.
He's garbage.
So anyway, that was my 2 cents. But I
Well,
just think
I wasn't a LeBron hater when he went back to Cleveland and won a championship. I didn't like the Lakers that year. I mean the Warriors that year. I was pulling for Cleveland.
Well, I kind of thought he did the right thing when he went back to Cleveland. But,
Well, right. That's what I respect him for that.
But
That was
he
cool,
left
but-
he left like what shortly after that, you know. So
Yeah.
two years.
It's all about finding the
It's all about-
perfect team
It's all
that's
about ring
going to
chasing, you know.
push him up and
it's like-
make him better than what he is.
but like
It's
when-
like travel
I mean-
baseball. It's like ring chasing right here.
That's it. Ring
travel
chasing.
baseball.
Definitely like LeBron better than the Snake. You know, Kevin Durant, who goes to the Warriors and wins 2 cheap
Oh,
championships.
I like Durant.
Durant's on that team.
I don't really like the NBA. I personally think they did the same thing. They're both ring chasers.
Yeah.
Isn't everyone technically doing that though? Not
Now they
everyone.
are.
Not everyone.
Now,
I
But
think,
yeah.
Hey, I think when you hit a certain point in your career,
The Baltimore
you start to
Orioles.
think that way.
Hey, can you
Are
move
not-
back from the mic so
are
it
not
doesn't
doing
keep
that.
clipping?
Are we now?
Yeah.
Are we
Judo
all
chop.
right. Are we talking about everybody from the sense of just the NBA? Because I don't really see too many NHL players doing this.
No, I'm talking. It's supposed to be NBA talk
Okay.
because that's what we're talking about.
Well, yeah,
Like,
Not every
Tries to
sport,
anyways.
like swimmers.
Sure. Well, it's also not as easy to jump teams in every sport, like where the player has the power to, hey, I'm not going to like Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
He deserved to get out of that
And
situation and move to a better team. So I'm not going to like say him specifically.
Yeah.
Being hurt.
But
I'd be okay with that if the Bucks won one.
I would too.
Like,
I like Dame. I don't know.
I like Giannis and the Bucks. Like, so Biff, I'll push back on your comment about the Lakers winning the championship only because I think Boston or Milwaukee will
I'm not saying
will
they
be
have the
there.
best team.
No, I know. But you said the Lakers were going to win the championship this year.
I think I'm calling it now, only based on that in-season,
Reps.
that trash, that like if this the Suns game and then this in-season tournament, and it's like LeBron this, like
No.
which I retire like either this year. If he wins this year, he retires. Put it that way. I think. And so,
I think
like,
he's going to stick around until his kid comes in.
Well, he said that before,
that's-
but
He's going to get him drafted to the Lakers.
I think he'll just be a mercenary and go wherever his kid gets drafted.
I mean, he
Right,
might
too.
He might, and like, I don't hate him as a person, but I don't like when refs are like favoring calls.
Kind of hate him as a
blatantly.
person too.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Why do you hate him as a person?
Who, LeBron?
Taco
He's a good
Tuesday.
family man. He has Taco Tuesdays. I'd love to
He
do
was
it.
good. He was good.
I
At
didn't get invited.
I would like to clear out a little bit and let Travis have the floor. I would because I don't like him as a basketball player.
But as a person,
I think
I feel like
LeBron
he-
uses his platform to speak on things he just doesn't know.
that's all.
That's fair. That's
Possibly.
fair.
But
For
his
the record, he was
platform
born in
is
'84,
his
so he's
plat-
much smarter than any of us.
his platform is a little bit bigger than most athletes, at least as far as
Yeah,
NBA
he was born
players.
in October of '84.
Yeah, he's
And,
our age. He can.
You
join
know,
the podcast.
I think he tends to put his foot in his mouth a lot. You know, when it comes to talking about like playing in that tournament back in China a few years ago, and not realizing that Chinese sweatshops is where all of his products are made,
Sure.
and
Oh, totally, yeah.
he's brought politics to basketball a lot, which other athletes do as well.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I think he's kind of taken that just beyond an athlete and tries to do a little bit more than what he
I
should.
think he thinks he's bigger than the league.
Absolutely.
Well, he totally is. Like in
is the league.
all honesty, like
He is the league.
I mean, he's bigger than the league. Like in his celebrity.
His
I mean, like-
basketballs are selling for like.
But I think as a
20 Gs,
person,
dude.
I'm gonna like. I don't know about Pat hasn't spoken to this, but like as a person, I like how he's like. I mean, he seems to not have scandals and things like just like as a family man, things like that. And like today's day and age, I'm not saying like I agree with his politics and like every stance he has.
Right.
I'm not saying that, but as like an individual, it's like if you threw that much money and fame at me, like how would I handle like would I like speak well on everything? Probably not, Oh, but but
So-
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That would be my own. That's the only.
But as a person, like he's a
That
good
was a
family
much,
dude.
yeah.
That
That's-
doesn't
was
have a
it?
lot-
Yeah.
That's my only counter to what Travis is saying. If the worst thing he's done is maybe misspoke about something that he wasn't the most informed on.
Right.
I'm willing to give him that because
I mean,
whatever. But
yeah.
He tends to do it a lot, though.
Yeah.
okay,
I also
but I also look
Like,
at how
more than
much
most
he donates
That's true.
back to the school he started. How he's still with his high school sweetheart. And again, you can say like, oh well, why are we giving out awards for things you should do? Like, hey, I haven't gone to jail. I get a cookie for it. Well, you're not supposed to go to jail. But like, I think for all the opportunities for negative things to him to get involved in or get done to him, he's been a model, a good role model and father figure and other things
Family man.
in general, and a good businessman for the most part, empowering his friends and getting them into the agent life on that side of things and giving them opportunities. I don't like him as a basketball player just
That's
because of like his flopping and the whining about calls and stuff like that. But
Right.
I can't argue with him as a person when the worst thing he's done is maybe misspoke about
But
like China.
But I
and
also
that.
think that ESPN plays into the fact of why I don't really like him as well, because I feel like they suck on this dude's balls for like everything he does.
Well, they did to Brady
But that-
too.
And like everything, I don't
They
like
want
Brady
money.
either though.
But I'm just saying, like they do it to a lot of athletes.
The top tier athletes.
But like they post all of his tweets, and it's even the ones that are extremely ignorant that they post. So I mean, I think they post everything that he does. And
So
just-
it's out.
But
so
that
far,
is-
too.
I
the
think
ignorant
that's-
ones are the ones that I see, and I'm like, oh man, this dude just.
I think that's more of ESPN knows what gets them clicks and what makes them money. So that's
like the oppositional articles where people write these stories of like, like I don't know. I don't want to get in the
But
political arena, but you know what I'm saying, like where
we
they
don't talk
start.
about that here.
Yeah, I know we're not doing that.
No,
But
no,
I'm
I
just saying,
understand.
like,
I was
but like
gonna
in
check.
that arena where it's like, people just writing these like article hit pieces that are just so out of left field. It's like, oh wait, it stirred up all this stuff for some no name magazine. It's like, yeah, they got all this attention.
But while you mentioned Tom Brady, I don't think any of us like Tom Brady either, and
Our fantasy
and
team
unfortunately,
Mike does.
oh yeah, well, that's true. We're gonna have that. That's
Well, Mike's not here.
that's for a different podcast.
I don't hate him, but I mean,
Brady jersey.
But
Yeah.
I think the NFL is almost desperately pushing Patrick Mahomes to be that next Tom Brady. I know we've
absolutely.
talked about that before
Oh,
too.
totally.
he's a guy I've never had an issue with since he came into the league, but I think because they've catered to him so much, now he's got like this example from last week.
It was an easy transition from 19. I was pulling hard for the Chiefs, and then last year I really wanted the Eagles to win.
I wanted the Eagles to win, and they got that BS call.
The whole
pass interference call.
The whole situation that happened last week against the Bills.
And that's what happened.
Mahomes has been now so used to getting every call that he wants, just like Tom Brady, that when one doesn't go his way, he throws his temper tantrum.
He's cursing the refs.
Mahomes has not played a road playoff game.
Right.
And how many times have they been to the AFC Championship 5 years in a row?
Well, he's finally not surrounded by
That's
talent,
insane.
like in the receiving room. But anyway,
What are you talking about? Marquez Valdez-Scantling's on there.
Well, Andy
MVS
eats a
himself.
cheeseburger right before the game, and then he's got the.
Explain it again with those nuggies.
those
Oh, dude, nuggets are awesome. Use you some Chick-fil-A nuggets.
With those nuggies.
Only order the 30.
My offsides.
My offsides.
I ordered the 30-piece, and then you got leftovers.
I was going to say, we should be talking about how sick we are of Travis Kelce right now. Since he's on like
I know my brother is. I don't want
And Taylor Swift.
By the time this airs, and
Dylan can't stand
he
Travis
can't stand
Kelce.
Travis Kelce. My parents are getting him. By the time this airs, or I don't care when it airs,
So he broke up.
Next
he
week.
can listen to it and find out a gift. But he's getting that Travis Kelce sucks. Like they bought him like a Travis Kelce. They got like they couldn't find one that said Travis Kelce sucks, so they're paying someone to embroider sucks on like a Travis Kelce thing. That's great.
On a jersey?
Not a jersey, like a shirt.
You know, it kind of sucks watching Chiefs games because of the fact that anytime Kelsey catches a ball, they got to go up to the press box and show
It's just
Taylor Swift.
overreacting.
At Mass. Sunday, I was at Mass because the third and fourth graders were singing, and a girl, preteen, whatever she was wearing a Travis Kelce jersey at Mass. I was like, are you kidding me?
But again, that's not his fault. That's the media.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, it's like, I like how, what did Al Michaels say? He said something like, I don't want to talk about, I refuse to talk about Taylor Swift anymore, or something like that. It's like, it's obnoxious how they're like, too much.
Tay-Tay.
I get into my drum lessons with
I'm just thinking
where the Swiftie 5-year-old girl's like,
Speaking of drum lessons,
Oh,
our Wagoneer, who's not here, was actually
drum off.
That's a good rhyme there.
He was spotted
It's not here.
at Guitar Center. What was he doing there? What do y'all think he was doing at Guitar Center?
Well,
Is he rocking out on the drums?
there can be two answers to this question. Patrick seems to think that he was looking at equipment for our podcast.
That's probably a 0.
I, on the other hand,
He could have been looking for some kind of musical instrument for his kid for Christmas.
I mean, if you remember correctly, in the last podcast, I mentioned that Mike used to play drums, and that him and Biff should have a drum off. And I asked Mike who he thought would win, and he said he would kick the shit out of Biff.
Did he really say that?
He said he would.
I don't remember that. I'm laughing at this.
He said he would dominate.
He said he would mop the floor.
I'll put it
With
this
his
way.
candy ass.
I don't remember this, so
I'll
I'm
put it this way. I think I could probably beat him with one hand.
Oh!
Biff's gonna pull.
What about the drummer from Def Leppard? Could you beat him with one hand?
Well, I mean, like,
Could you beat him with 2?
I could probably beat him with 2. He's crafty with his left foot.
I like to get beaten with 2 hands.
And a left foot?
I'm not a footprint, sorry.
It's like he's got a left foot trigger that like triggers all of his toms and stuff. I don't have all the wiring to do the Def Leppard drummer thing.
He's wiry.
But no, I mean, in all fairness, I would kill him.
In my humble opinion,
But
I smoke
seriously,
that food.
I would kick the shit out of him.
I mean, like, I don't know. I continue to drum. Like, he hasn't drummed since like middle school or something. Like,
He doesn't even own a drum.
much less
Let
a
alone
set.
many drums that would constitute a whole
And, like, I teach lessons and like and playing.
I mean, Mike did say he's like, wait till I show up to Nova Junction's next gig and watch what I do to him. I was like, whoa,
Hey,
you're gonna go to that man's spot?
They're auditioning.
Some news. I'm no longer in Nova Junction.
Whoa!
You didn't
Wait,
you didn't tell.
we have breaking news?
Yeah. Patrick
Patrick was at the
there
gig,
for
too.
it.
I was at the last gig.
You at the last gig with me.
Oh man, I gotta go find
yeah,
my.
it's kind of sad. It's kind of drama. It's like negative.
They decided to go crazy female and just drop like, yeah, it's just not working out. Like,
I think
It's not you. It's us. Yeah,
I think
right.
Mike said he's going to be the new drummer for the band Carolina, so that's really like the view.
Well, the funny thing is that there's more drama. They're no longer together.
Wow.
Mike and Carol are
can't
no
even-
longer together.
they're not?
No, so we're older. No, I'm kidding.
Attaboy.
If you're
No,
listening,
Slid to those DMs, didn't you?
Just to see if you're looking for a drummer or anything.
Or
No, I mean,
hey,
so what you're saying?
That
hey,
would-
hey,
So
hey,
you saying that would be
Biff,
a big reason the band's not together?
Biff, you don't have to apologize or explain yourself. It's cuffing season, buddy. We know what the deal is.
I mean,
So what
drummer's got to play. Drummer's gotta
So what you're saying is
I gotta
the
bang on something.
Wagons should form a band with two drummers.
two drummers.
Josh can play guitar. Josh can teach me how to play
I
bass.
can pick
Yeah.
up my guitars and
Sean's
remember how
got a
to play.
Play guitar before.
Travis on bass.
I will definitely rhythm.
And then Patrick and Todd can split vocals, man. It sounds good to me.
No, I'll just sit behind the keypad and do audio shit.
You'll
You
be
can do the-
keyboards,
you can do
keyboards.
There you go. Put me on a
Todd will
keyboard.
sing.
Todd, you're
I
gonna
could
sing.
totally rock it with my stage fright and everything.
Be a simple.
The way he deep throats the fucking mic for podcasting, he'll be perfect for.
I can sing, but I'm
Get
not.
your
I'm
new
not
kids
good.
on the block shirt.
I could very well have me a New Kids on the Block shimmel.
New kids on the block. And a bunch
What
of
if can we get you to dress like Scott Stapp?
Oh, absolutely.
But now-
I'd love to see you in some
Well,
other bands.
we did. We have to bring up this
I've got the
Rumpelstiltskin
leather
pants.
buddy.
You have leather pants?
Do you not remember the Rumpelstiltskin?
Oh, okay.
Are you wearing tomorrow with your sweater though?
He is now, yeah. He is now.
I think you should.
Please don't.
Please do.
Then I might.
All right.
Tom,
So
Tom was actually starting OnlyFans with your leather pants.
he can join Brandon Staley.
Ooh.
Jesus.
Did I post that?
Too soon.
I don't think I posted that on
Brandon
the
Staley.
Did
Don't
you
know.
not see
The
that?
coach of the Chargers got fired today.
Oh, he did. Did he really do it?
Yeah.
I thought he got fired during.
No, we're just joking.
He should have been fired.
Joke that he would.
His pregame
Well, Mark,
warm-ups, he was on the
what's-
sideline like doing like
Cat cow
Yeah,
and
right,
all his
right.
yoga poses and
What's
whatnot.
his name was calling for him to be fired at.
Richard Sherman.
Richard
Yeah,
Sherman,
at
It's
halftime.
like they should have a
He said they
limo.
should have the Uber X and the
Yeah, he didn't say
I
limo. He was
think
like, get the Uber out and bring
After
him home.
Uber X to take him home.
After last night's blowout, I don't think there was any surprise.
I mean,
that he
like, how is
getting
that his
today.
fault when like his quarterback goes out, Keenan Allen's out?
I think. But
I mean, like I know the Raiders are like a dumpster fire regroup, but I mean, like
You
Well, that's what I said. Like when
Well, I
his
think
press conference, when Brandon Staley's like, "I call the defenses, okay? So stop asking me that question every week." It's like, well, your defenses suck.
yeah, you're a defensive the specialist coach, and you got 63 home you by the Raiders with Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns by
Yeah.
Aiden O'Connell.
I mean,
Yeah.
who started him
Hey, yo.
in fantasy was
No one.
I tell you what, I wish I would have picked up the Raiders defense this week.
Yeah.
Fantasy
That's
players.
Jesus, yeah.
I wish I didn't have Keenan Allen anymore. See, the Twins were right.
He sucks. he fucks you every year.
Hey, well, Tyreek Hill
And he
might
fucked
miss
me
this
the
week
worst
too.
time.
So, you know,
At the end, when you need to win, you don't need to win in the beginning.
Well. Which, by the way, since we're on the topic of fantasy, I'm gonna go round the table real quick here, real quick.
Real quick, fast.
Who would you guys start in the flex position? DeAndre Hopkins, Cortland Sutton.
Hopkins.
Oh.
I mean, as your teammate, I suggested Sutton, but
considering I have a parlay where Sutton needs to score a touchdown, Sutton.
So the way
It looks like Sutton. But
Wait, I think
But the way I
that
look at it-
parlay's fucked up because Eckler
could be,
didn't score a
it could be
touchdown.
either way though. Like
Never mind.
Sutton never gets the yards,
Sean Payton, give the damn ball to Sutton.
but
in the Peyton offense,
Wilson
traitor.
loves Sutton in the red zone.
Mhm.
He's got like
Yeah.
10 touchdowns
He
this year.
scored like 11 out of 14
DeAndre
weeks.
Hopkins.
So, you
I
know.
don't know. I'm a big DeAndre.
Hopkins is just a big.
D-Hop.
He's a big play guy.
He's a good player.
The thing is, I feel like without Stroud, they'll get ahead on the Texans and they won't have to throw it much.
So you saying Sutton?
Probably Sutton.
Sut.
Who are they playing? Who's Denver playing?
Denver is playing the Lions.
Oh, that's good.
definitely.
Oh, the Lions have a soft pass defense. Too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it'll be back and
They
forth
give
high
up
scoring. You
points
think
for
Sutton?
these.
All
Is
right,
it at
I'll
home?
leave it.
It's at Denver too.
I don't know. I think it.
It makes a
let me
difference.
see. Let me see.
Defense is gas.
Oh, let me see.
They're all sucking oxygen on the sideline.
I see. But I know Sutton's more. No,
sand?
it's at.
That's exactly what I thought.
It's at Detroit.
Oh, it's
So it's-
Oh, never mind.
okay.
Sucking
no.
in diesel.
Diesel
But
Ford.
it still could be a high scoring game. You know?
Ford Field.
Built Ford tough.
So anyway,
Okay. Rocket.
I have something in the lineup right now. I just wanted to get
Sorry,
it.
we're playing Shawl and Pat this week.
I think you should
This
leave it
game
blank.
means nothing.
Leave it open.
It's the consolation.
Don't pick any of them.
But I need to win this.
No, you don't.
Go with
get in
Hopkins.
play.
No, we're playing them.
Go with
too.
Hopkins.
Are you scared of our team?
I'm not scared of anybody. I'm just saying.
Oh, dude.
All I know is our team's got like 200 points less than everybody else.
I think our goal is to keep Doug out the playoffs.
Well, I'm
Sure.
happy if any of us present win the league, except the Neils, and they're not present.
I can just say it was
And
awesome.
they don't listen to the podcast.
It was absolutely
I'm sure they
great
don't.
beating Mark last
You
week.
know, Doug
I actually-
Doug
I-
might listen to it while he's sucking back.
Well, I mean, like, I'm not-
stars and eating
Oh,
his
shoot.
bites.
I did
I hope he
sit
doesn't listen now.
Second back what?
Rock stars.
Oh.
I did sit next to Joel at the Rumble Wrestling meet the other night though.
Did you?
And he said, did he mention the podcast?
No. He did mention fantasy.
I was
Of
going to
course he
say,
mentioned
does
fantasy.
Joel and Doug Neal even pay attention?
By the
or
way,
is it all
Diva
Paul?
Samuels
It's pretty
learned
much
how to
musical.
play finally, and wearing
Well, see-
black
see,
Air
so-
Force and-
So me asking this question really got me nowhere because it still seems like we're kind of.
Hopkins.
No, I'm the only one that said Hopkins. So
Nuke.
they all said Sutton.
I don't know. For some reason, start Hopkins.
So Sean flip flop.
It's Todd's
Sutton,
team. It's
Sutton,
Todd's team.
Sutton D's nuts.
It's Todd's team too. So if he wants Sutton, I guess I
You
can.
goddamn change your pick, man.
Well, Sutton scores touchdowns, but he doesn't get a bunch of yards. It's
I
like
don't-
he'll have like 2 catches and 1
I
touchdown.
don't think he's ever had 100
I
yards
do want
this
to put
year.
this document on the podcast. I think I need to break away from my dad and brother because, like,
Bob, you
they'll-
listening?
I mean, there's an opening. 5 guys, 1 chip will be vacated next year.
That's where Josh is coming in.
Is Josh coming?
Josh, you doing some fantasy
Fantasy?
football with us next year?
If it doesn't,
It's $100
well, $100, okay, but
for
yeah.
the year, not a week.
But if you
It
win, you
can't,
get
it
like
can't go down
you get
to
like
like two-lane
600.
game. If it's a two-lane game of fantasy football,
No, you don't have
No,
to.
you
You
just
don't have
set
to
your
go to the
you
game.
set your lineup,
just set your lineup on
You
the
set your
phone.
lineup once a week, man.
You just have to come to a draft in August
you-
when there's a
and you-
hurricane.
Yeah, but we'll do the draft. The draft this
That's
year happened.
That's accurate.
Oh, no, it's
two-lane
two-lane
game. And so then I
No,
was
there
like,
won't
yeah,
be.
I'm
There
going
won't.
two-lane game.
Oh, there was a draft.
that's
during
true.
The two-lane game.
It was a Saturday. Yep.
Oh, that's true. Well, we can plan around that.
Yeah, two-lane.
We'll
try
We'll
to
plan
do it
around that. We'll do the.
I don't know if we can start
do it.
Eckler
And
anymore.
you can't
not at all.
draft Drew Brees anymore.
Might be
Yeah,
canceled
fuck Drew
after he
Brees.
gets out of those terrible defenses.
If they
Yeah,
had a
for real.
fantasy draft where
Yeah,
I
play
could
San
like
Francisco
sacrifice
again.
Drew Brees, that's what I
In
would
all
do.
of his businesses.
So you
Yeah.
so what you're saying is you could draft Drew Brees and trade him for like 3 players.
I think Josh's Christmas
Alright.
present, instead of the pint glass and the Blackhawk shirt, should have been a Drew Brees shirt.
Should a Drew Brees ball.
Drew Brees voodoo doll that I could burn and stick needles in.
Jeez.
It's like, look, his knees.
First
are
we can find one of those on
hurting in the
eBay.
football court.
Along with that Bart Simpson soap.
Yeah.
A Drew Brees soap.
So
Eklund just tied it.
why don't we talk about why we have pickled flavored peanuts and
Yeah.
pickles and
We have to
pickled
dip in
vodka
there.
available to us right now. Josh is our special guest, and that's the reason why we have so many pickles here on the table. And we're gonna sample all of them. We're gonna give our opinion on them. Much like we got some Sucker Punch. Shout out to Sucker Punch. Fiery spice garlic dill pickle spears.
Oh wow.
I'm actually curious what these are going to taste like.
All right, so I brought.
It tastes like pickles.
Well, I mean, I get it. But like, I've never had a peanut.
Yeah,
pickled peanut.
I'm with Diff on this. I actually, one of my students at school who's in the band was selling this as a fundraiser, and
One time at band camp.
he's like,
See,
you
like,
want to
I
buy?
seen that in
pickled
this-
peanuts.
He's like, do you want to buy any peanuts for our fundraiser? And I was like, why the fuck would I want to buy peanuts? And I looked at all the flavors, and I was like, dill pickle peanuts. I was like, let me try this.
Yeah.
So we have also at the table Birdie County Dewdrop Dill Pickle Peanuts. So we're going to give those a try.
Sour pickle.
We also have Texas
vodka.
Craft Sour Pickle Flavored Vodka.
And then some dill spears over there.
Yeah, Travis.
Some
The
fiery
spicy
spice
garlic.
garlic.
Oh, there we go. There's a Drew Brees voodoo doll.
You can pretend this is Drew Brees right here. Notice my child's already put a couple of pins in the dick for you.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Wow.
So can you grab
So-
shot glasses?
He needed to stop having babies before he left the Saints.
So what I'm going to do here, the reason why we have these the pickle vodka, the pickles, the pickled peanuts displayed, and we have Josh on the podcast today,
It's a fun story.
I will start the story because I heard it first. I'm gonna use some surnames here. Is that what we want to do?
Yeah, Tom and Tomas, Tommy,
So Josh and I worked
Thomas,
together at a place called
Titties.
Seagull Point.
Seagull Point Car Wash. Yeah, it's,
Steven Seagal Point.
yeah, Steven Seagull Point. Yeah.
So I worked here, but
With the
I started working there before Josh. And when the first manager that I worked for got fired, the owner was basically talking about
Thomas.
Oh, nice.
Tomas Hurdle.
We eating these.
So the owner Tomas. The owner was Tomas, or the
Yeah.
the owner was Tomas.
Gourmet.
When he fired his first manager, he was basically talking about how he kept a notebook of all the errors that he made, and one of them was like, he was just concerned about who wants pickles. And the funny thing is, when he said that, I literally, like the week before, I saw those gas station pickles. You've seen like the big dill pickles, and they come in a wrapper. I
These
saw
garlic pickles seem to be a hit.
I saw a ton of those. I saw a ton of those wrappers in the trash can. I was like, who the fuck is eating pickles in like 90-degree heat? Like it's like salty, it's gonna dry out. Like who the fuck?
It was Tom.
So Tomas said
Tommy Pickles.
the manager was just concerned about
Tommy Pickles.
who wants pickles.
And his best
So-
friend Chucky.
And so I met Josh working at the same location. Probably
Yeah.
like 2 years after that. Me and Josh kind of hit it off instantly. We had a lot of similar interests. But Josh, if you want to share anything about this whole situation, I mean,
Yeah.
A lot of
So
pickle stuff.
I was a store manager for one of these car washes at Seagull Point, and and so like I was there for a few years, and after about a year or so, like I could just tell that like Thomas and Tom, they weren't happy with me.
Let's say Phil and Lil.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the other Tom?
Yeah.
One guy that had a pickle obsession.
Phil and Lil Pickles.
Yeah. Tom and Thomas and Tomas.
Thomas
They-
the Tank Engine.
They didn't like a lot of the stuff I was doing, I perceived. So before one of our Tomas meetings,
I'll try some of this.
I asked them, straight up. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? It seems like everybody's unhappy with me. Like, it's kind of like weird stares in the meetings and stuff like that. Like, if I'm doing something wrong, tell me, because I want to correct my actions. I don't want to lose my job. I like to stay here and continue washing cars for the rest of my life. For Seagull Point.
Pass me the notes.
And they were like, well, you're just worried about lunch too much.
What?
That's what I was told.
I want to know what's for lunch.
So when Josh told me that story, I'm basically eating my pickled peanuts. When Josh told me that story, I was like, man, that's like the same thing I heard, except instead of lunch, it was pickles. So Josh was concerned about lunch, the other guy was concerned about pickles.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just a store manager, so I might need to know, like, who's going to take lunch when, how do I need to, like, shift people around. Like, because that was really how I was worried about lunch. It was be like, hey, guys, I'm going to go to Cane's. Does anybody want Cane's? It's like
concerned.
Yeah, I was very, very concerned.
Very concerned manager.
Yeah,
About lunch.
yeah.
That reminds me of like the what is that like?
Is that Corky?
No, we didn't get a lunch.
You
there.
mean Sporkies? What are you talking about?
You mean Kava or Zoe's or whatever it is?
Sporkies, yeah.
Kava, I love kava.
But it's like where they're creating like the mod squad or something. And it's like the first question. Hey, we have any questions? When's lunch? That's why I just immediately thought. I know, but like as a manager, you have to know because you have to shift people around for the schedule.
I mean, yeah, and like,
But they think you were too concerned
I
about.
would joke around and be like, okay, now let's talk about important things. What are we getting for lunch?
Pickles got some kick.
You know,
That.
like,
Yeah, right.
but it's just like, totally tongue in cheek, sarcasm. Like,
Phil and Lil didn't get it.
yeah, Thomas would ask me sometimes, be like, I'm gonna go get some red beans. Do you want some red beans? I'd be like, yeah, give me red beans. I like red beans.
Like, you're too concerned about the red beans.
Put a big Frank down the middle. Stuck in the so I can deep throat it.
There you go. Put a split double-sided hot sausage on it.
It sounds like you were just concerned about the well-being of your fellow coworkers, your employees.
And Frank and beans.
That's bullshit.
Frank and beans.
And Frank and beans.
So,
The peanuts. I'm gonna weigh in on the peanuts. They
Peanuts.
taste like peanuts.
yeah,
Very light
with a
dill.
hint of dill.
very like the
Hint
Definitely
of
don't
dill.
taste like
I
these.
feel like
$8, God damn it!
I feel like they ripped Todd off and put
Oh,
cocktail
yeah,
peanuts.
They don't taste
You
like
can
these
taste-
sucker punches.
You can taste the dill
I haven't
when
had
you,
a sucker punch.
when you first
Grab one,
put them in your mouth.
These are sucker punching the shit out of me.
Just two, Buckley.
You can taste the dill when you first put the peanuts in your mouth, but you're right.
These
The
are ass kicking.
the peanut taste kind of takes over. Now, Patrick, pass.
The pickle.
Pass it back so everyone gets a taste.
Now, Josh is on to bigger and greener pastures here. But
Walking cars.
Green like pickle, huh?
he's done washing cars.
I'm just washing my own.
But since we brought Josh on and we had this little inside joke, we decided to do a Sucker Punch Fiery Spice Garlic Dill
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Spear taste test along with these
Cocktail.
11
Birdie?
spice blend.
Birdie County Dill Pickle Peanuts, along with
Packed with peanuts.
Texacraft
We know where that's from.
Sour Pickled Vodka.
Total one?
I did. I was
had it before.
I was trying to get these pickle chips that I think are the best ones out there.
Well, that would have been a nice addition.
I know
Yeah.
Rouse's didn't have them. I don't know why. The Utz UTZ brand that usually sells the cheese ball.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
them from Italy.
That brand of pickle chips are amazing. I don't know why they're so hard to find, but they're like better than Lay's, better than Golden Flake, Zaps,
Give me some of them
the
nuts.
Grautator
I like
dills.
the fact that they're just regular peanuts because we're drinking.
I'll have them for another podcast. But the Utz, I guess that's how you say it, the UTZ brand with the little girl on it. Their pickle chips are amazing.
Y'all let me know when you
With
get
a hint
them,
of dill.
and then I'll come crash the podcast.
I think they're pretty good. Honestly, Beth.
Josh, I think you're going to be
It's a hint
welcome
of
back
dill.
on more podcasts.
Hint of dill. I mean, like I
I
like
know.
peanuts, so
It's a peanut
My tongue has been sucker punched, so
With
I
a
can't really
hint
taste the
of
peanuts.
dill.
Does anybody else want to give an opinion on the Sucker Punch Fiery Spice? Well, good, Patrick, you had a few of them.
They're fucking good.
they're great.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that.
I need.
Got a nice little kick to them.
Well,
Sucker
where'd you
Punch.
get those?
They're not brutally
Yeah.
hot.
Got these at Winn-Dixie.
Winn-Dixie, okay.
Yep. Winn-Dixie on Airline, right by my house.
Add that to the grocery list.
By the
Sucker
way,
Punch, if you're listening.
Your
We're
Birdie
looking for
County
sponsors.
peanuts are lightly
I
seasoned.
almost got the
cocktail nut.
moonshine pickles.
Oh, it is a
I thought about
cocktail
that.
nut.
That might have been a little
It's a cocktail
hard to handle.
nut.
Past the nuts.
Cocktail nut.
All right.
Perfect when you're watching the clock.
There you go.
And
No,
an NK
yeah, I had one.
TV shirt.
Schimmel.
Oh, we got a little one. That's what she said.
Not gonna lie, I kind of like nuts.
So that handful just now, I smelled it more than I tasted.
All right.
These pickles are awesome.
All right.
Anybody else want a mouthful of nuts?
Not yet.
Have some more, man.
With cock nuts.
I gotta watch my sodium intake.
Not tonight.
All right. So we're gonna do this shot to close out the episode.
Yep.
Well, no, we have to do the top 5. I thought.
That's a separate episode there, bud.
Oh shit.
Learn how podcasting works.
That was a,
Ooh.
you know.
I'm gonna take this shot.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I need your help, Biff.
Learn how podcast.
Watch and learn, he says.
I'm watching. You know what I saw?
If I
Patrick's defense here, he actually has given you a lot of shout outs for your expertise in editing.
So I didn't learn shit.
But I think Mike could probably own you in a drum battle.
So yeah, I mean, I'm just
So next
chopped liver
podcast,
over here.
He had a
next
mixing
podcast-
battle since he bought a $600
Drum
mixing
off.
board.
I mean, you're not even in the band anymore, Biff. Jeez.
I know. I'm not even in a band.
So for
The Vikings
future
have been in the band
episodes,
since
tune in
middle
for a video footage of the drum off
Yes, there will be
between
video
Mike
footage.
and Biff.
And I'll do a one-handed drum.
And then a guitar.
Two dudes beating off on camera. Got
I
it.
will do a one-hand. I'll do a one-hand.
Two guys
One
beating off.
paradiddle.
Before we do this
I
shot,
can do it split between my feet and everything. I can do it.
how solid would that be if
We had a drum.
Mike and Biff did the drum off and Biff only had one hand?
He was smoking fuck
That
out of
would be
him.
I have to have a kick. Now I can't just be like on one snare. Like, I gotta have a kick drum and use my feet.
Okay.
Like
Whatever you need.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah,
look,
yeah.
solid.
Oh, yeah, full set. And I guarantee
We're fucking videoing this shit. And Mike's gonna be.
Yeah!
Mike, you listening, bro?
You listening? Wagoneer?
And Mike's got to wear his Christmas present from the Wagoneers.
Golden Knights.
100% agree with that.
I guarantee you the Golden Knights jersey.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Basketball jersey.
All right.
All right, if I may, for our shop, we normally do a toast to someone or something like that to close
I
out.
know who you're going with.
You don't.
LeBron.
You really don't.
Well,
First of all,
I'm going to fucking pull
We
it
were
up.
toasting the
I don't
drum
know
off.
the guy's name, but I can't. Go ahead.
anyway,
How does podcasting?
one, don't ask Todd because all he does is fucking deep throat the mic and fucking make more work for it.
I bet any money I know who he's going with. Go ahead.
You want to bet any money on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, you're about to fucking you're about to fuck a douchebag for a
Toast into a
second.
celebrity?
No, you're about to fuck a douchebag. First of all,
I'll bet my.
If it's not who I'm thinking, I'm gonna throw it out there.
toast to Josh for being on the pod.
All right.
As our special guest, we'd love to have you back. Biff, toast to you for filling in.
Oh yeah.
And also, more importantly, and something more personal for me, today would be my dad's 77th birthday.
Oh, nice.
So I would like to give some of my toast to him.
Happy
for his
birthday,
honor.
Mr. Taplin.
Happy birthday.
77. He would be 77 today.
Happy 77.
Yep. He's no longer with us, but he's a great man. He's still here with me. Thank you,
The
sir.
guy from the New York.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Andre Brower.
Andre Brower,
Toasting
yes.
to Andre Brower. Only 61 years young.
Oh yeah.
I think he died of
He was also
Lung
in
cancer.
Lung cancer.
Wasn't he in Star of Echoes?
Was he? I
Probably.
don't remember.
The water main doesn't run into the house.
That wasn't his. That wasn't that line.
Yes,
Me and Patrick have already.
Well, I know
Yeah, I've
that
already
now.
done my job.
Andre Brower. All right.
All right.
Y'all can go
Dude.
and do it. Cheers. Celebrate.
Wagon out.
Oh.